Happy Sunday fun day. You guys, it was tanning day for me. So I did my self tanner. I get a little pasty because now that I just turned 40, and so I'm terrified to go in the sun for any reason because like all the damage I did to my skin from going in the sun my whole entire life, and now I'm like, okay, never again. So now I get super pasty. So now I use a self tanner, and I don't like, if I go in the sun, is like SPF 400 like all the things. So I just did a self tanner. I haven't rinsed it off yet, so it's still a little wonky, but when I rinse it off it'll be really pretty and even, and it's so nice. So anyways, I wanted to come on here and show you that I'm using a different shade. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. So this is my main shade. This is my golden hour. This is what I typically use when I rinse off my tan. This shade is hazel, so it's a little cooler, and yay! Thanks for listening to the podcast. That makes me so happy. Thank you so much. I want to show you how you can have different shades in your palette. You don't have to have like the same shade. It's one foundation all the time. You can switch this up. So I haven't rinsed off the self tanner yet. You wait like 8 hours or so. And so I kind of want to show you that just no matter what your skin tone is, if you've been in the sun or you do a self tanner or whatever, you can just switch up your shade. It is no big deal. So instead of using my main shade that's in my palette, I'm going to use this one just for today. This is hazel, and I'm just going to dust this on. I've been doing it where I'm sweeping my makeup on the bottom half of my face. I got a lot of feedback from people saying this method kind of really helped as far as like learning the placement of your makeup, because it kind of shows how you can break up your face in different sections to kind of see like where the brightening highlight goes and where the contour goes and all the things. So I'm taking just a little bit of my main shade. In this case, this is my substitute shade until I rinse off my self tanner. The self tanner that I use it's not orangey, like it doesn't turn orange and weird. And so it's got like a violet base, and so before you rinse it off, that's why it looks a little bit more cool tone instead of like that orangey weird. So that's why I'm able to use hazel. So it's really cool how you can use different shades in different levels of skin tone. So in my case, self tanner, or if you go out in the sun or you haven't been in the sun in a while. So I'm just kind of starting here, lightly dusting on my main shade. Okay, so kind of think like goatee, mustache, and beard area, lightly sweeping. Okay, just like that. So you get your beard. So if you were a dude and you have a beard, this is the general area it would be in. When you apply this makeup, I don't want you to feel like you have to color in the lines. Like, this is something that's really nice and melty. It's really pretty, and it'll just melt into your skin. This is the Shape Brush. This is one of my favorites. And it just melts into your skin, so you don't have to worry about like getting it exactly where it needs to go. So just kind of have a general idea. And I promise you, like, my 10-year-old son did my makeup one time, and I was like, this looks like a horrible dumpster fire. And then I blended it and it was fine. So when I tell you that it's really easy to apply and it'll melt really pretty, I just need you to trust me. Hey, Amy. Okay, so I'm just sweeping this in this area, and I want to show you how color correcting this can be. So I have a lot of different like colors going on, especially right now. I did the self tanner. I usually don't put it on my face, but I did this time. I don't know why. But anyways, if you have discoloration, like for me, I have the freckles and I have the redness. I'm Irish. I'm also in Florida, which means I get sun, and then I'm self tanning and all these different colors, right? This makeup is really color correcting. So it'll really help you to kind of get an even skin tone without using a shit ton of products, like, you know, the layering and the, you know, this color corrector. And the color correctors are great, but try your makeup first and see how well it covers before you try a color corrector, just to see if you need it, because you might not really need it. So I'm just sweeping this along the center of my forehead. I know I'm going to put my contour here and here, so I'm just kind of putting my main shade everywhere else. And then my brightening highlight is going to kind of go in these corners. So when I apply my main shade, I'm just applying it in my beard area, sweeping over my cheeks and a little bit over my nose and my forehead. So it's just kind of melting into my skin, and I'm not coating my whole entire face from crevice to crevice with my foundation, kind of like you would with like a liquid foundation, right? So this is just a nice start to my makeup. So now I'm going to add the rest of my shades as per usual. So my contour, my brightening highlight. The contour is a lot easier than people think, especially with this makeup, because on the regular, I sure do now. Oh, I'm so glad you love it. Jules, you can do it however you want. I try to teach it different ways. Sometimes I start with my contour to frame it out, and then I'll add my brightening highlight and then my main shade, but you can do it however you want. At the end of the day, it's all going to melt together, and they're all the shades are going to come together, like, instead of sitting on top of each other, they're just going to melt together, and it's going to be really, really pretty. So that's why it doesn't matter really how you do it. And so the whole idea is to get the highlight and contour on your face in one layer without stacking the liquid foundation and then the powder and then the cream and then the liquid and then the powder and then all these other things. So yeah, you can do it however you want, and try different ways. Like, see if there's other ways that you like it, and try different ways, see what works for you. There's not a one size fits all. It should be one size fits you 100% of the time. I've tried it several different ways. I like many different ways of doing it, so you'll see me using it different ways just to kind of give you an idea. And also, my customers, I always tell them, if you're wanting to get more ideas for like application, find other Saint artists to follow and see how they do it too, because you can learn a whole lot from the other Saint artists as well. And so they have a lot of, these Saint artists are amazing. Like, they're amazing women. They're great at this makeup, and you can learn a lot from them. I know I learn a lot from them every day. So I just kind of, the contour that I put on, I just kind of put it in the areas like under my cheekbones to give it a lift. I kind of come around my forehead. This can be as light or as intense as you want. It does not have to be super heavy. If you want heavy contour, put on heavy contour. But I like how it just enhances that shadow with that cool kind of grayish tone, and enhance it as much or as little as you want. It is not super heavy, and this cream isn't like wet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a wet, gross cream. Anyway, so I'm using this same brush. This is my shape brush, and I'm dusting this on. And I always say, blend up to Jesus, blend up to Jesus. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my brightening highlight. This is my concealer. That's gonna go right here in the center of my face. I want the center point of my face to be alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic, right? Same brush, smaller end. The end that you should use is the one commensurate to the size of the size of the area. So like smaller area, smaller brush. And I'm just going to tap this right here, right here, right here. So this brightness is right here in the center of my face. So down from the corner, across the top. And then we lightly kind of feather out. And this makeup will, if you treat this makeup like a powder, it'll blend really, really nicely. And you would think that like, oh, it's a cream, it can't blend like that. Yes, huh? So it's really, really pretty makeup, and you don't have to use very much to get a really nice coverage. It's very, very highly pigmented. So these look little, but they are mighty, and these will last you a really long time. So I've just applied my brightening highlight. So I want to point something out to you. You see my nose? My nose to me looks a little bit wider today. So you can see like the shadows on it. I want to show you how to snatch your nose and make it look, it doesn't look super huge, but you can make it look snatched. So I'm looking directly at my light source. And do you see this bright white line down the center of my nose? This is a naturally occurring bright white line, right? I'm going to take my brightening highlight, and I'm going to squeeze my brush like this. I squeezed it. And literally just tap into my brightening highlight. So this is a skinny, straight brush, right? And I'm going to apply this straight. I'm just going to enhance that line that is naturally occurring on my face, right? So on my nose. So just straight down. So basically your brightening highlight kind of goes straight down your face. Anyways, so to get the contour on that, we want to hug that line with a contrasting color, like our contour. So squeeze the brush, tap into your contour, and we are going to hug this line. We're just going to hug it really lightly. It does not have to be perfect, but you'll get a really, really nice, even if your nose is crooked, make the line straight, and it'll make your nose appear straight. It's really cool. You can do it with a bumpy nose, but if you have like a bump in your nose, you can just change the way. If you want to text me, I'll show you how to do it, or how I do it on my girls that I do makeup on. Okay. So see how I just kind of squoze my brush to hug that line? So we get that line really, really skinny, right? So now it looks a little bit crooked to me, but it's fine. Anyway, you get the idea. Anyway, so when you have that bright white line straight down the center of your nose, and then you just kind of tap this together, it kind of makes your nose look just a little bit more snatched, like a little bit slimmer, and just kind of enhances, like, you can enhance different things with the highlight and contour. And that's what I love about this makeup. You can just kind of like create not only dimension, but you can sculpt your face. That's funny. Yeah, it can be tricky the first couple times you do it, but then you kind of learn that it's not super crazy. And I think so many people put the lines too far apart, but if you come like super, super close, you bring that in so much. You see how you can get it even tighter, and just practice with it. See how it just brings everything in. It's really fun. You don't have to contour your nose. Like, I don't every day, but you can if you want to. This makes it easy, so I love that. And then you just kind of add brightness where you want that pop. So for me, it's in the center of my face. And I'm using it really lightly. I'm not jamming into it. I'm just lightly dusting like it's a powder, and lightly dusting like it's a powder. So you get this really beautiful dimensional look without using a bunch of makeup. Then my big end of my brush that I use to apply my main shade, I just kind of tap and melt everything together. And everything comes together just really pretty. It just melts all together. Like, you don't have to color in the lines or anything crazy. And then if you want to add a little bit more color, or you want to create more dimension, just add more of one thing. If you want to create more dimension, like if you want a more glam look, add more contour, like darker contour and brighter highlight. So the more contrasting, the more glam that you're going to get. But you can achieve that with this makeup. It's really nice. And you can also go super, super light. But see how now the center of my face is really bright. I have my contour, but it's not super crazy, right? And with a brush like this, yeah, not all willy-nilly. Tracy, don't get all willy-nilly. With a brush like this, it makes it kind of a light coverage. You can get a more full coverage with a different brush. Like if you use like the Buff brush, for instance, this is going to be more like dense makeup application, more full coverage. So, yay! I'm so excited for your order to come. It's like Christmas. I freaking love it. Okay, so now when you get a color match, I will match you to a main shade, a brightening highlight, and a contour that are complementary, right? So this is the Shape brush. It's nice, right? I like this brush a lot. If on my color match form, there's a box that I added. It says, do you want me to match you to your summer shade also? If you click that, then I'll give you a secondary shade. So like kind of a lighter, you'll have like a main shade, and then you'll have one for like kind of a summer shade that's a little bit darker. And then as the seasons change, you can always, add shade back down, or I go even lighter for winter, so then you can switch it up. It makes it really easy. I love that I can get a professional look without knowing how to do makeup. Yes. Okay. That's a really good point, because that's what I always say. Like when I do makeup, people call me and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel so pretty. I've never felt so pretty. And they can't stop FaceTiming their friends and their husband and their mom. And like they take a whole bunch of selfies and they can't stop smiling in the mirror. But then it's like they take it off and they're like, well, that was fun. With this makeup, you can actually duplicate it every single day. And not only at the end of the day, like when you take off your makeup, because it's so hydrating, like your skin is literally like loving the hydration. It's loving the healing properties from the beeswax, and there's very few ingredients. So your skin really loves it, and it feels beautiful when you take off your makeup. And then you know that when you wake up in the morning, you can duplicate it. So it's like, it's really a sense of empowerment that I think it gives. And I really like that. Hey, my friend. Okay, so now I've added those 3 shades. Now I'm going to add some warmth. So I want to add even more dimension, which you don't really need it. Like if you wanted to stop here and just add some blush or some lippy, you totally could. Personally, for me, I like bronzer. So I'm going to tap into my Bella bronzer and treat it like a powder, just lightly tapping. It's not super scary. I do eyelashes so well. I can't even get the magnetic ones. First of all, I hate the magnetic ones. I can't get those to stay on either, so don't ask me about the magnetic lashes. Tracy, I'll send you the color match form. I use the Lashify lashes, and I have so many tutorials on them. I've gotten really good at them, so if you need help, I can help you with those. But they're once you do it a time or two, it's really, really easy. Okay, so my bronzer. I tapped into my Bella bronzer, and I'm applying this on the tops of my cheekbones. So where I have that cool gray kind of ashy tone here from my contour, the tops of my cheekbones are going to be warm. So the bronzer and the contour kind of go in the same area, but they do different jobs. So when you think of contour and you... oh, that would be great! The affiliate program starts October 1st. So then you can sign up and do all the things. I think it's a great product, and I think more women need to know about it. I just love the empowerment that it gives, so it's really cool. Blah, blah, blah. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So with the bronzer, it adds a little bit of warmth. The contour, where you apply your contour, if you say the word contour, I know I look stupid when I do it, but you'll remember it. So when you say contour, the shadow right there that it enhances, like you just pull that all the way up. So contour, you can feel it. And if you have a chubbier face, like I was 300 pounds, my face was always big. I had to find my contour by feeling it with my fingers. You can feel where that shadow is, and you can create your own cheekbones. Or also, if the Lord forgot your cheekbones, like he forgot mine, then you just add them wherever you want them. And sometimes I bring my contour up a little bit for a little bit of a lift. It's really cool, the different things you can do with your makeup. It's just really pretty. And then the bronzer, if you think bright, bronzer, bright, right? So think a little bit of alliteration there. Bronzer, bright, and that's the brightness from the sun, falls and lands on top of your cheekbones. So that's where your bronzer goes. So bronzer, bright from the sun falls on top of the high points. So high point of your forehead, high point of your nose, high point of your cheeks. That's where the bronzer goes. But it's so subtle that you see how it's like warm but then cool there? It's just adding to more dimension on your face. And you can add, if you're someone like me, I like my makeup to be seen from outer space. I want the astronauts to be like, where's Mackenzie? Oh, there she is. I can see your contour from here. That's me. But if you want it really lightly, then you can do light too. I get makeup creases on my eyelids and in the corner of my eyes. What am I doing wrong? Probably using too much. So if you have makeup creasing here, if you have any creasing with this makeup, there's too much. And sometimes it's just a shade issue. So if you find that your makeup is creasing, especially when you get older, like when you have more lines and wrinkles and texture and things like that, you just use less makeup and you probably use a darker shade. So that's stuff that I can help with. So if you find the creasing, we can probably shade you up. A darker shade, you won't have to apply as much and you'll notice the same amount of coverage. Dumb question. No, that's not a dumb question. When using demi corrector under your eyes, do you do it before, after, or in place of highlight? So it's preference, but in my experience, I say especially when it's under your eyes. So if you have darkness and discoloration under your eyes, if you take your brightening highlight and apply it in the corner and pull it down and avoid that bag, right? So you pull it down under that, see that bag line right there? Pull it down under that, okay? So we don't want to shove makeup there. If this area is dark and discolored, use the demi color corrector in that area and use your makeup outside that area. So you can still get the benefit of the brightness in the center of your face and then cancel out the discoloration with the demi. So usually you can do it before or after, but typically if it's anywhere else on the face, I usually say do your makeup and then go back, and if anything still shows through, then cancel it with the demi. But under the eyes, where it's the most crepey, it's the driest, it's the thinnest skin, I would say do your demi color correction first and then apply your makeup everywhere else. And then, that way you don't you know what I mean? That way you can kind of see where you need the actual makeup. But it's really, really preference. I say try it both ways and see what you think. But where you have the discoloration, I the idea is no layering. Like, you're not doing a lot of layering, especially the Demi is a little bit of a different opacity than the main shades. So try whichever way you think, and then, you know, whatever way is the most natural. Like, okay, we do this first and then we do this, and if that works, then do that. Having trouble not being heavy-handed with the bronzer. Oh, I have a solution for that. If you are, hold on one second. I'll show you what the Demi color correctors are. If you are heavy-handed with anything, I challenge you to train your brain to use 2 bristles. Pick 2 of your favorite bristles on your brush and say, okay, you guys are in charge, and put them in your cream. Barely tap it. And by barely tap it, I mean that's how much pressure should be applied. Just that much. So you are not pressing into your makeup. You are just lightly tapping or lightly sweeping with your 2 bristles. Obviously, you're going to use more than 2 bristles, but if you can think of 2 bristles, and it kind of trains you to be so light, like, oh no, that's 3. And so if you can kind of get that unrealistic expectation of 2 bristles, and then you get like 100 instead of 1,000, and then tap it onto your skin, and as you tap it, see how I did that really lightly and I still got a lot of bronzer? So if you can train your brain to use 2 bristles, focus on 2 bristles, then you'll start to see. And this, I have this pink neon light that puts a pink cast on my face. Okay, so that's how you avoid using too much. The color correct, and that's with anything, eyeshadow, everything. The Demi color correctors are basically, instead of concealer, like, you know how when you have a pimple and we were taught in 8th grade to take the concealer and jam it on top of our pimple and make it whatever, like, it never really concealed anything, let's be real. So the Demi color corrector, it uses the opposite color on the color wheel to exactly cancel out the discoloration. So if you have, like, for instance, I have sunspots, age spots, and pimples and acne and all these things, right? If you want to cancel those out, instead of layering a light color on top of them, usually you want the opposite color. So a pimple, we would say, oh, it's a red pimple. Usually it's a violet. So we would want to use like a yellow, because yellow cancels out purple on the color wheel. If you have dark blue under eyes, right, and they're really, really deep dark blue, you want to use orange. And so I can help you figure out what color that is, even though it's filtered through the skin, to help you figure out which color corrector you need. And these are not like slather on like a concealer. This is like pinpoint amounts of product to tackle any discoloration. Hold on. Here. This is a spot brush. So you would take like a brush like this, tap it like this. Like, it's just a baby. That's how much product you use, and then you touch on the discoloration. So like, you would see how it just eliminated that blue, and you would just touch on the discoloration, and that's how you would cancel out unwanted pigment. So this guy, I'm not super worried about him. He's not super noticeable, but he is a little bit pink. So I would use like the yellow, and I would just like tap onto him and cancel him out or whatever. And you go around your whole face and cancel out any discoloration. So that's the Demi color. So I can help you figure out, most people only need 1 or 2, like 1 or 2 of those shades. Like I usually have a yellow for any like acne or pimples or whatever. And then I have an orange to cancel out blue. So like melasma, blue, sunspot, blue. I know, and they're green and blue. So you would need the orange and the red to cancel that out. But anyways, I can help you do all that stuff. Okay, so anyway, so now I've used my main foundation shade, my contour, my brightening highlight, a bronzer, and then you can add whatever else you want, like blush. These are some of my favorite lip and cheek colors, and these are some that I have in my palette at all times. These are my favorites. Oh my god. Barbie pink with metallic stars. I need it. I need to go to Marshall's. I wonder if they would have it at mine. Hey, Alex! What cancels out rosacea? If you have rosacea, many times your main foundation shade will cancel it out most of the time. However, rosacea, a lot of us say it's red. Most of the time it's actually violet, so you need yellow. But a lot of these have a yellow base, so you might get that cancellation with your makeup by itself. So a lot of my customers that have rosacea, they just use their makeup to cancel it. If they're not happy with the amount of cancellation or they need it even deeper, then then I can help you figure out like what shade to use to cancel it. But most of the time your main shade will cancel it. It's kind of cool. Like when she created this makeup, she did a really good job, and with the color correcting properties, and it's really good. The ingredients, everything. Okay, so lip and cheek colors. So let's do a pretty like lip and cheek color. Like let's do nude. Nude is just like a slightly pink mauve color, and see how it's very subtle. You could also do something like this Pinky Promise one that I'm always talking about, that people are like, that's a lot of pink. But these are creams, you guys. So these are not super scary. So when you look at cream makeup, look at how bright pink this is and how bright pink this isn't. Do you see what I mean? So I want you to know that when I color match you, I'm usually spot on with my color matches, okay? If the color isn't right or you don't like it for whatever reason, I can help you get the right shade. But most of the time when someone tells me, the shade is not right, it's because they swatched it on their skin, like you do in Ulta, and they didn't blend it. When you blend out this makeup, it blends out much more sheer. The opacity is different. So when you get your makeup, you have to blend it in, and then you can make your determination. That's my rule. Ladybug, I've ordered from someone else. Can I order from you? Yeah, you can order from whoever you want at any time. So yeah, just, if you want me to message you my color match form, I can. Do you need to be recolor matched? I'm happy to help. No problem. Yeah, Amy, thanks for sharing that. A lot of my, like, even for me, I needed full coverage because of that, like, redness that I was insecure about. But now the makeup color corrects itself, and you don't have to use a whole lot. Like, you don't have to stack and layer you just don't. It is so cool. I'm telling you. Okay, I'll send you my color match form so that you can get color matched again. But all these different colors are so beautiful, and it's just very, very subtle. You don't have to worry about like overdoing it or going crazy with your color. So I put nude over here, so I'm going to add nude over here just to match them up. Yeah, I can type the word match. Just type the word match by itself. It should come to you automatically. See if that works. Nude is one of my go-tos. But you see how it's buildable? Like you can go super light or you can build it. That's the beauty of this makeup. That's why this makeup is literally for everybody. Because if you want light coverage, done. Boom. If you want heavy coverage, boom. Full coverage, boom. Glam, done. Super light, whatever. So that's what you can get with this makeup. And that's why I recommend it for literally any woman of any age. If you are older and you have mature skin, lines, wrinkles, texture, all of that, you can still use this makeup. It is, the older you are, the more I recommend it. Just because it's cream, so it melts into your skin instead of sitting on top, so it does not do the settling and creasing and caking and all that stuff. For young ladies, I love it because it kind of shows young ladies that like less is more, and you can get a really beautiful dimensional glow without going crazy. The bright pink color, this is Pinky Promise. Are you talking about this one? This is the one I put on and I was like, see how bright and crazy that is, but it's actually not bright and crazy. They look crazy in the pan, but when I tell y'all, these colors are not freaking crazy. Like it's the cream makeup always looks different. It does. I'm telling you, the older you are, the more you should wear, the more I recommend the cream makeup. Yep. Absolutely. Everybody thinks you have to be young, but you don't. Like the older you are, the more I recommend it. You will when you get your makeup, you'll be like, the stranger online who told me don't trust strangers online, because I'm a private investigator. So like, don't trust anybody online ever, but also trust me. I'm trying to tell you. Or at least trust the company. They do a good job. Okay, so now I'm going to add my illuminator, which this one is rose gold. These illuminators they look really scary. They all just look stupid online. I've sent a request. I've sent an email. I've told the president. I told his mama, like everybody. I've let everybody know the colors look stupid online, and they're like, nobody cares. So just trust me, okay? So the colors look crazy, but look how sheer and pretty they are. See how it just adds a little bit of that enhanced glow without being super crazy. So these are not like, oh my God, that's a lot of intense makeup. No, it's not. Stop it. It's beautiful makeup and you don't need very much of it. And you'll be like, yes, exactly. I wish I had this in high school. But listen, in 8th grade, y'all know what happened in 8th grade. We were legit with that slather and shit. Okay, this color is called Royal. This is my current favorite lip and cheek combo. This dark ass shade called Royal. And everybody's like, oh my God, not the dark one. Look, I do not like super intense lips, but look. Okay, see how it gets really sheer? I take the Royal, and then I take this Sunshine State, and look. If you don't get this combo, you're all fired. You're all fired. Like, I unfriend you. It's so pretty. That's the Royal with the Sunshine State. How gorgeous. And it's like, it's more of a stain, and you get the payoff of a really pretty color and a little pop of shimmer without being like glitter. Do you know what I mean? Oh, the purple? Oh, all day. This one is probably my absolute, if not, okay, top 3 favorites in this whole thing. I have to dig into it a lot because it's very... Okay, so this is the purple. This is called Lavender Skies. Watch. Look. Got the freaking... See what I mean? It's not scary. It's not scary. Hold on. I'm taking this off. Look, I'm putting this purple on my lips so y'all can be like, oh, what am I doing with my eye? Look. Tell me that purple is not freaking gorgeous. I'm just going to let you stare at it. It's so pretty. These colors, do not let these colors whoop up on you. Do not be intimidated by these colors. These colors don't got no weapons. They are not going to hurt you. You will be hurt. Your feelings will be hurt if you don't get... Do you see what I mean? Thank you. That's why. Because this is why I'm so glad this makeup is not in stores, because people would be ruining it. Like, they would never buy the right shades. It would be wild. I'm putting my Royal on top of it. I love mixing colors. I regret not finding this before. At 44, this is the best for fine lines and doesn't cake around my eye lines. Yes, and the thing is, you need very, very, very little. What's the difference between Royal and Black Cherry? Ooh, I got you. Hold on, I got this. Royal and Black Cherry? Girl, hold on. Stand by. I'm pulling out the big guns. Let's see. Okay, so this one... Hold on. I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. That's the wrong page too. Hold on. Okay. Royal and Black Cherry. Black Cherry's a little bit more like plumish. Royal is a little bit more reddish, kind of. That's the difference between Royal and Black Cherry. Where'd my brush go? Hold on, stand by. I lost it. That's Black Cherry and that's Royal. Black Cherry is just a little bit more plummy. Royal's a little bit more red maroonish. That's the difference. They're both gorgeous. And also, when I color match people to those shades, they think I'm off my rocker. And they're like, oh, I just don't trust ya. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your problem. But the makeup is gorgeous. And I really feel like it really helps women to find well, I hate to say find their beauty, because I don't feel that anybody needs makeup to be beautiful. I feel like we all have a beauty that we don't see, right? Like it's human nature. It's natural. Like it's fine to feel that way, right? But also whenever you enhance the features on your face that you love and are able to camouflage the things that you're not so crazy about, and using makeup to do that in such a light way, but also getting like the dimensional color, or the dimensional coverage without having to slather on layers. Will I wear off the lip color in the first 5 minutes? Yeah, it's not long wear. So she had to choose between, love black cherry, and I did think you lost your mind. I'm telling you. So the founder had to choose between the ingredients and long wear. So if she makes this, yes, thank you, to find their confidence. So she had to choose between, are we going to make this long lasting, or are we going to keep it clean makeup? So the ingredients that would have to be added to make it long wear would be like, it would cancel out the fact that she wants this clean makeup, right? So what I do is after about, I guess it lasts about an hour or so. And then I have a little baby palette like this one, and I keep those 2 shades, and I just put this in my purse for touch-ups. And I love it because I think that no one else has it, right? And so like it's not very popular. Like it's viral, but not a lot of people know about this makeup. And so when I'm in public and pull out my palette, like it makes me feel fancy. So it's really cute. But no, it is not long wear. The makeup on your face, like it'll last a good long time. Like it just melts in, and it'll last you a long time. Always I recommend a setting spray. But for the lips, it usually doesn't last that long. Yes, you have to reapply like lip gloss. If you want a long wear, lipstick or like a lippy that will last you forever, usually they're much more matte. The Too Faced Melted Matte, oh, those are so good. Like, and they will last a long time. Are you going to be able to purchase the tiny palette soon without the eyeshadow? I don't think so, Kimmy. I'm not sure. I hope so. That would be really nice, because not everybody wants the glitter. You know what I mean? Are you still going? Yeah, I still do PI work. No, I don't get recognized very much. I feel like you're not, people don't see you a lot when you're on surveillance. Like you are literally hiding in plain sight. People just don't see you. And also like oftentimes you're wearing a hat, or like the personality that you guys see, like this bright, bold personality. That's not who I am on surveillance. Like when I'm on surveillance, it is very like Carmen Sandiego. You know what I mean? Like it's a totally different vibe. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that, but it is interesting. That is a good question, but I was at Tiffany's at the mall yesterday with my mom. We went shopping, and some of the girls there were like, oh my gosh, hi, I follow you on Instagram, right? And it was cool because like they recognized me because I have this personality, and I was talking to the ladies. But when I follow someone into like a store or something in the mall, and I'm just like not if I'm on a job, like I'm not just on my personal time, it is very quiet. It is very hide in plain sight. I think people don't realize that like people aren't paying attention to you. Like people don't pay attention to me. People are, they're in their own heads. They're worried about the kids. They're worried about what's for dinner. They're looking at their cell phone. They're doing all these other things. And that's what's interesting, is that I don't get noticed that much when I'm on surveillance. Like I've never gotten noticed while I was on surveillance. So I think that's pretty interesting. Okay, setting spray. First of all, the one that my go-to for years was the Urban Decay All Nighter. Then I found the Benefit Professional Setting Spray. I love this one because I love how fine the mist is, right? But Saints Setting Spray has the aloe in it, so I've been digging it for summer. And since I've been using it for summer, I've actually kind of fallen in love with it again. So it's bulletproofing with the aloe. So if you try a setting spray, I would try either the Benefit Professional Setting Spray or the Saint setting spray. And I think the Saint is good all year round, mostly because of the aloe. In the summertime it's great, and in the wintertime it's great because you're dry. Have you done before and after since face treatment? Not yet. I still have one more treatment to do where I'll do another cool peel and another microneedling, and then I'll see like the first treatment, the second treatment, the third treatment, and then see the results of that. Yes. Oh, yeah. And if you don't like the spray on this, there's a reason the sprays are the way they are. If you spray this all the way, you get a fine mist. If you spray it halfway, you get a little bit less, and then you can do like little dabs. But I don't think that was portrayed very well. And also, I think these bottles are ugly. But it's a good product, so you can totally switch out. You know, I do, and maybe that makes me a bad salesperson, but I sell more makeup in this company than a lot of people. Like, I sell a lot of makeup, and I think that's because I'm very transparent. Like, I'm true to who I am. Like, I'm honest about what I like and what I don't, and if there's something I don't like, I might mention that my other customers like it, but I'm not crazy about it. Like, the skincare, like, I don't use Saint's skincare. This is the long wear lipstick, the Too Faced Melted Matte. It's very, very matte. So I think you have to, like, for me personally, I use like a chapstick or a balm or something over this. But these will last you 100 years, but it is very, very drying. And my lips are trash, so usually I only wear this if I need long wear. But those are really good. And this one is the Too Faced, just the melted. So there's melted matte and there's melted. This one's a little bit more creamy. But anyways, no, I feel like it's important to be honest about, like, I don't know. I just don't feel right about talking about stuff that I know nothing about. Like, for instance, like, as a creator, like, you get a lot of companies reaching out like, hey, you want to promote this product? One of them, just for instance, is, where is it? Is it over here? So It by Ulta sends me this, and they said, will you promote this product? I do not wear SPF that isn't mineral because I have blonde extensions. And when you use chemical sunscreen with blonde extensions, it can turn your hair orange. So I use only mineral SPF. They obviously, if I promoted this and said, hey, use this product, and I put it on my face, they would probably share my video, and they would probably share it to their social media. And then I would get more PR and more things or whatever, right? But I can't, and that would benefit me. It would boost my social media, probably it would bring more people to my page. I can sell more makeup, whatever. I struggle with it because I would not reach for this because it's not a mineral sunscreen. And so these are the things that, like, I mean, it's great, right? Like, you can use it as a primer, which, I mean, I use mine too. It's SPF 50, which is great. 1% pro vitamin B5 and hyaluronic acid, which is great, but it's not a mineral, so I wouldn't wear it. And so even though, like, I want to promote it because, I mean, it's It by Ulta, it's a big deal, but this particular product, I can't honestly promote and be like, yeah, I'd wear this every day. So it kind of sucks, but I feel like the more honest you are, like, even if you let things like that go, even though that would be great for me to be on benefit or to be on It by Ulta's, like, you know, PR list, I just can't. Like, I feel like if you're honest now, then you'll get later on, it'll come back to you, you know? Oh, Amy. Okay, so that's the deal with the setting spray. I'll have to share it with you. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss any comments. Oh, heat protectant. Oh. I use this stuff. This is the Bumble and Bumble Hairdresser's Invisible Oil UV Protectant and Heat Protectant. I like that it has the UV Protectant in it because when I go outside, I don't know, like, I just want all the protection, and it's nice and soft too. Okay, so let's talk about the Saint setting spray real quick, and a lot of people don't know this. With the Saint setting spray, if you spray it like, see how it just kind of squirts out like a camel would, like, spit at you, right? But if you press and hold, like, really fast, it comes out in a mist. That's how you want to spray it. So if you want to spray your face with a setting spray, which I won't do until after I use my setting powder, which, hold on, let me do that real quick so I can show you. This is my setting powder. I just come in here to this bad boy, and lightly dusty right here in my inner corners. Lightly dusty. When I apply setting powder here, I feel like it really creates this really pretty kind of blurred finish, and it's really, really nice. I just dust that there. Sweepies, very lightly. And see how my my brush was used for all that makeup, but it doesn't transfer. So you don't have to worry about your colors getting all transferred and everything. Anyways, okay, so there's my setting spray. My setting powder. When you set it with your setting spray, the idea is a mist. Right? So it's kind of like a mist, and See how it has your face kind of wet, and then I usually have a fan, so I just, whatever. But that dries, right? So the idea is that you have the bulletproofing, and it has aloe in it, and the particles of the aloe are a little bit bigger too. But anyways, if you are someone who wants to set just right here, like under your eyes or in a small area, the idea is that with this nozzle, you can just kind of spray this. Oh, there's glitter on my sponge. That's not going to work out. You spray this really lightly on your sponge. See how it comes out in little bitty, like a little bitty area, so that you can get it more concentrated. And then you use that to set in those areas where you need a little bit more setting, or perhaps you've applied too much makeup and you're noticing it creasing and you need to pick up the excess. This will press that product in, set it, and pick up any excess makeup. So that's why the nozzle it works differently. So little bitty squirts like that, like a Camel, or just a full blown like shh. And so if you don't know that, then, you know, which they don't tell you that. So that's what I'm here to tell you. The setting spray is actually really good. It's a tricky nozzle. But also, the brush cleansing, I'm stupid. The brush cleansing spray, it comes in a bottle that I don't like either. Like, I don't know. These bottles are just not cute. Like, I don't know. So I put mine in like a pretty pink bottle because it looks better on my shelf. Nobody judge me. But anyways, that's how, get the brush cleaning spray and the setting spray. And if you need to put it in a different bottle, like the ones I got were on Amazon for like, I don't know, $4 or something. And it came with like 4 different colors, but so anyways, yeah, the setting spray is really, really good. But then the Benefit one, it's just, the mist is really, really fine. But they both work really well. So I hope it doesn't like turn you off from it, but that's why. And also I've just always used the other ones. Like ever since I've been doing makeup, I've just always used those. So anyways, don't be afraid to try this makeup. Get a free color match if you want color correctors, or if you need recommendations for eye stuff or eyeshadows. I will send all those in your color match. So when you submit a color match, I will match you to a foundation, a concealer, a contour, a bronzer, illuminator, a setting powder, a couple of lip and cheek shades, a couple of eyeshadows. You choose what you want to add to your cart, and then you go from there. Like, nobody gets to tell you what to do. I ain't your mama. Do what you want. And then I always recommend getting like one of these small palettes, or if these aren't available and you can't get if you didn't get the glitter eyeshadow and it came with this, there's a demi palette that's little bitty. Where is she? Anyways, she's like this size, but she holds one more pan. So she holds three colors, and she's little like this. And so that's another one to get, and you can just kind of keep those in your purse or in your pocket, and they're really nice to have around. Yeah, so definitely get the colors that you want, and don't let anybody tell you what to do. They ain't your mama. So yeah, comment match or just text me. Please don't hesitate to text me. It's me. You can just text me and be like, hey girl, I have a question about this. I will answer you and we can have a conversation, and I'm happy to help. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye.